Have you ever had so many things to do that you ended up doing the wrong things? Not because you lacked discipline, not because you were lazy, but because you didn't know the but because you didn't know the ones that you're supposed to do first. That was me, and it led me to discover something called the Eisenhower Decision Matrix. I used to have what you can call the accordion consistency. One week I'll be very productive, the next week gone. I'll bounce again and then I'll disappear again. It was like an accordion, expanding and collapsing. At first, I thought I wasn't disciplined enough because after all, deadlines kept stacking up, tasks piled up, projects were completed before an avalanche of urgent work came rushing down on me. So I thought the problem must be discipline. So I started looking into discipline. But after a while, I wasn't convinced. Then I thought, don't have a clear vision. I read about vision, researched about vision, discussed about vision. Then I thought maybe the problem is not vision. Maybe I'm just lazy. That's what I thought. And I looked into that one too. Maybe it's laziness. And so my problem would be willpower. But eventually I realized something important. The problem wasn't that I wasn't working. I was actually doing tasks. I was actually showing up. So what was the problem? The problem was that I didn't know which tasks deserved my attention first. I didn't know what needed to be done now. I didn't know what should wait. I didn't even know which one should even be on my plate. So I kept moving, but often in the wrong direction. That's when I did what any confused person would do, more research. So doing my research, I actually discovered something called the Eisenhower Decision Matrix. The idea is simple. Not everything urgent is important, and not everything important is urgent. I very recently started using it. The difference has been noticeable enough, and I decided to share it with you. We're all figuring out life together, and if this framework can save you the way it has also saved me a lot of confusion, then it's worth talking about. Now you might be wondering, why is it called the Eisenhower Decision Matrix? It gets its name from Dwight Eisenhower, the 34th president of the United States and also a former military general. Eisenhower was famously known to make decisions under immense pressure, and he popularly observed this: what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. And this modern matrix wasn't necessarily done by Eisenhower himself, but it was inspired by his philosophy and later popularized by productivity experts. Understanding the idea is one thing, actually using it is another. The Eisenhower decision matrix falls into two categories. Is this important and is this urgent? Depending on your answer, we're going to fit it into four boxes. The first box is urgent and important. These are the things you need to do immediately. These are like deadlines, assignment due to tomorrow, projects that are given, and things like that. Do them now. I think that's where procrastination comes in. When you have something like that, you know that the next thing you're supposed to do is to do it now. Ironically, this is where I spend most of my time. And you'll be thinking that that was a good thing, but it was because I didn't really pay attention to those things. I kind of neglected a lot of things until they actually became urgent. And that's the trap many of us fall into. The second box is things that are important but are not urgent. So basically, there are things that require attention but not immediate attention. This is where growth happens. Building relationships, learning new skills, working on long-term goals. Now these things they don't scream for your attention, but you realize that working on these things that are important, they actually help in the future. When it comes to things that are important but they are not urgent, you don't have to do them now, but you have to schedule when you're going to do them. You have to know when you're going to do them. I feel like people should make their to-do lists looks like something like that. Things that are urgent and important for that, the things that are not urgent, things that are urgent but important, and things like that. The truth about these things that are important but are not urgent is that nobody's chasing you to read a book, nobody's chasing you to build a relationship, nobody's chasing you because I've not planned for your week. But these things are the things that pile up to build our future. And that's why these things are so important. You know they are not urgent. The truth is, the more time you spend with the things that are important but not urgent, it's actually what's going to help your future. The third box is things that are urgent but they are not important. Now, these are tasks that deserves your attention, but they don't necessarily move your life forward. Interruptions, some meetings, other people's priorities, answering some messages. I like to put washing plates under this one. These things can actually feel productive because they are urgent, but they are not necessarily important. I be wondering what's the fourth box. I think everybody already knows the answer now. It is It's not important and it's not urgent, bro. If you see boxes like this, they will say delete. Basically, you don't have to them. In fact, don't even do them. What can I say as an example? I put doom scrolling here. Checking social media, I put it there. Now just delete it. Basically, because you have a lot to do. You just have for 24 hours to do the urgent and important things, the urgent and not important things, the not urgent but important things, basically. Doing the not urgent and not important things are a basic waste of your time. I'll tag these books as time wasters. If you have nothing to do, if you basically don't have anything that is urgent and important, you don't have anything that is not urgent and important, you have something that is urgent but not important. If you don't have any of this, that's when you should actually do this time wasters. And it's not like I don't do these things sometimes, but I'm just saying that that's when you should actually focus on them. This is where distractions live. The reason why I was not always finishing all these my tasks, I was always hitting deadlines, was because I treated everything, the distractions, the things that other people's priorities, the urgent but not important stuff, the urgent and important stuff. I did everything as if they were in the same box. Sometimes I'm doing things that are not urgent and not important as if they are on top of the list. Everything felt important, everything felt urgent. And when everything is a priority, nothing is one thing I've learned from this whole journey. Sometimes you spend months trying to get disciplined. Sometimes you spend time working on the wrong problem. It's not like we're not working towards finding what is our issues. It's just that we're spending a lot of time working on the wrong problem. As I said earlier, I tried to, look for a vision. I guess maybe I didn't have a vision. Not like these things are important, but they were not really much of my problem, I guess. Then I tried to, work on my willpower. So none of these things addressed were my real issues. The real issue was that I didn't know how to prioritize. Basically, I was doing my tasks, I was showing up for some things, but I was showing up for the wrong things. I wasn't paying attention to what I needed to pay attention to. I was treating important tasks, urgent tasks, as if they all deserve the same attention. And when you do that, you just go with the flow. You live the living. You let your life control your schedule instead of you controlling it. The Eisenhower Decision Matrix didn't automatically make me productive. It didn't give me extra hours in a day. I know if you guys saw a video with how to get extra hours in your day and you see 48 hours on the thumbnail, you guys will probably click on it. But that's not the Eisenhower Decision Matrix did for me. What it gave me was clarity. And clarity beats consistency and it makes consistency much easier. So here's the challenge. You take 5 minutes after watching this video and take down everything that is currently competing for your attention. Then ask yourself two questions. Is it important? Is it urgent? Place each task into the four quadrants I mentioned. So when you place each task into four quadrants, you might be surprised what you discover. Hi, I'm Oladepo. This is WSS with Tenny. If you are new here, this is my YouTube channel about personal self-development growth. And this is my good journey. Basically, whatever I learn, I bring it to you guys as I am getting better day by day. If you are interested, we upload videos weekly. What am I saying? Upload videos weekly, basically.